Well, I researched chaos.
Yeah? Good. Hey guys, Dave from Mob Rules, joined by John, who's going to be taking the lead on this one because Danny is out of town. And also, I had to do Christmas shopping and stuff, so I couldn't actually research a ton of stuff. And we're going to be talking about Chapter Approved.
And the Mutatorium Field Guide. It's pretty good.
Yeah, so let's get into it. So let's dig in to Psychic Awakening Blood of Baal, or as it's known, Psychic Awakening Blood Angels.
Or 2 Electric Boogaloo, because it is the second book in the Psychic Awakening series.
It's the third book.
Is it the third? God damn, there's been a lot of book releases this month.
Book. Yeah, there has. There really has. So
Return of the Space Marines back to their rightful place of power.
Yeah. Blood Angels, because they weren't good before. Alright, so you've got all your basic stuff, decent amount of lore. Actually, less lore in this book than any other. And I think it's just because they didn't want to tell the premise that the Tyranids were too busy destroying Baal.
Which is saying something, because the last one had less lore in it as well, and it seems to be more and more rules.
It's just, you get all of the fun and stuff here. And then you get to the Blood Angels. And that's the meat of this book, really. So Blood Angels finally get their full Space Marine treatment. They are getting just absolutely good. You know, you've got all the good stuff here. Mephiston, Vanguard, updated weapon amendments. So different profiles to match up with regular Space Marines. When you look over at the Angels of Death stuff, they finally get all of that. They get Bolter Discipline, yada yada yada, combat doctrines, which is something that they desperately needed, or so I'm told by every Blood Angel player ever. And for the -1s. So that's pretty good for Blood Angels already, putting them right back up there on top tier. And then you got Mephiston, who got Primarified.
So he gets the standard Primaris upgrades.
I like that he was the one that went through and not Dante. It's probably because Dante would have finally died.
Again.
Yeah.
For the third time, but he is solid all-rounder. I mean, he's not blow you away from kind of the look of it. There's some people who are upset that he still dies if he supercharges his plasma pistol, but that's just something a plasma pistol does.
Yeah. Lord of Death, so he's got a 5-up Feel No Pain, Psychic Hood, standard stuff there for him. Nothing really changes on that. He does get the extra wound and the extra attack for being Primarified. And he's Strength 5, which is pretty good. I feel like he should probably be in just about every Blood Angels list.
Well,
and definitely
he has a Strength 10 close combat attack now, with some good AP on
That's
there.
it? Only Strength 10?
Only, so far.
Yeah, because Vitarius, his sword is ×2, -3 D3 damage.
Yeah,
so
it's a pretty good sword.
That sucks.
There's nothing super, standout about him compared to his last model, but he's still a solid addition.
And then you get Asterath.
Who will be in every single Blood Angels
every single Blood Angel
from here
on. Asterath is a beast. Weapon skill 2, Bliss skill 2, 4 attacks 5, so he's still a regular Space Marine, unfortunately. Thank God. The Executioner Axe, solid weapon. The Redeemer of the Lost.
So yeah, I think where he really shines here is Redeemer of the Lost, where he makes Death Company auto-pass morale, which is huge.
Yeah.
And then also at the start of the battle, the Massive Doom is another huge add for him. You can pick any friendly Blood Angels infantry unit and either throw out a mortal wound, which obviously don't want to happen. You add 1 to your hit roll, or you get a 4-up invulnerable and add 1 to your hit roll. And as we're going to see coming up, with the amount of dice Blood Angels can throw, hitting on 2s is insane.
Stupid. Also, he's a Chaplain, so there you go. Get his litany. And Blood Angels get a special litany for themselves later, which just adds to extra stuff. You got Lamartes, who hasn't changed at all except for getting the Angels of Death keyword. Then a Chaplain and Terminator armor. Felt they needed to include this one, apparently. Couldn't, because maybe it wasn't in the regular Blood Angels book?
Well, I think it's moving on from what we're going to be seeing later in Chapter Approved, where we're getting rid of a lot of index options. So we're kind of just putting it in here and then making sure, of course, he gets litanies too.
I'm 200% ready for index models to just disappear. Regular Chaplain, Primaris Chaplain, which those are still the same, still good, still very good.
But with the addition of litanies and litanies.
Yep, with the litanies. And then they get something they've never had before, which is Death Company Intercessors, and I really like these.
Yes.
I just, you know what? They're just stupid good. I mean, so they've got everything else a regular Primaris squad does. You can give a model of the Thunderhammer, because there's no sergeant. So you just say, Joe, you take the Thunderhammer today. And Joe says, aight, we'll do that. And then you got, somebody else can be given a Flamer, which I don't know why you would, or just a chainsword.
When you just dole out Thunderhammers, like it's a, Thunderhammer sale.
So for every, for 5 models you can get a same thing you do in a regular Intercessor squad, only better, because they also have Black Rage and the special chapter tactic of extra 1 attack on the charge.
Sure.
For the...
so each squad can have 1 Thunderhammer.
Yep.
You're rolling in...
And 1 chainsword.
Yeah, you're rolling in minimum at this point with 4 attacks off that guy.
5 attacks, actually.
Because you're 2 attacks for the...
So you're 2
base.
for that. You're +1 for Black Rage for charging.
Oh,
you're +1
fair.
for shock attack. And then you're also +1 for Blood Angels.
Which, 5 attacks, which if you combine it with Astaroth, who gets +1 to your hit roll.
Yeah.
You have 5 attacks with your Thunderhammer, hitting on 2s. Or
Yep.
hitting on 3s.
Hitting on 3s.
Um,
But you can give them a litany to get +1 to hit and other stuff like that. So, I mean, and you've already got the Chaplain running right with them, obviously.
Super chaff.
Yeah.
Super chaff.
Just disgusting. And then you've got the Repulsor Executioner, which, Blood Angels probably won't use. Let's be honest, they're not going to use them because they're all about close combat, not shooting stuff from a huge distance. Plus, if you slapped a Repulsor Executioner down and said it's Blood Angels, I'd probably just laugh at you.
But it's
that's
nice.
silly.
It's nice to have the option of not just running at people screaming.
And then for the first time, they've actually got access to all of the Vanguard options. So the Captain in Phobos, Librarian in Phobos, and then the Sanguinary Priest is here, and he hasn't changed at all, except to gain that one word that I'm thinking of.
Shock Assault.
Thank you. Except they didn't actually give it to him.
Nope,
it looks like.
he does not have it, which
So-
seems like an oversight. He does not technically now.
He does not have... Interesting.
I think that's an oversight, or maybe he just really studied his medical degree rather than combat school.
So he doesn't technically gain from
He does not have the
doctrines.
Angels of Death keyword.
He does not have the Angel of Death keyword. So...
I feel this will be a week 2 FAQ.
Probably.
But yeah.
Probably. It looks like.
As of right now, Sanguinary Priest.
Only knows no fear.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just heals, no doctrines.
I can't wait for Miller to bust
So-
off and be like, +1 for shock. I'd be like, oh, contraire, mon
Dave,
frere.
you play Space Marines. This doesn't break doctrines, right?
Oh, no, that would break Doctrine.
Oh, good.
Because in order to have the Doctrines,
Everyone has
Asterin has to have the Angels of Death keyword.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Cool. So, Sanguinary Priests currently break doctrines.
What?
What?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So, Lieutenant and Phobos, same options. You can give him grab shoot, you can take away grab shoot, yada yada yada. Nothing different there. Intercessor squads. Hey, look, the Angels of Death rule. There it is. Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Those guys are great.
The Blood Angels can finally take Infiltrators, which they couldn't take before because they had to draw from their own codex.
Yep.
So Infiltrators, no other changes there otherwise. Just the Angels of, just Blood Angel keyword. Incursors, same thing. They also get access to the Invictor Tactical Warsuit, which I think is
Very fluffy.
super solid for them. Just getting it up close, and having the Blood Angel keyword, so you get extra punchy attacks. That's really good. I like it. Suppressor Squad, same thing. Make them not have Overwatch. Super good for a Blood Angels army. So glad they gained access to that. That's something they desperately needed. The Eliminator Squad, so they can sit back and snipe, but, they're not going to do that. Impulsor, so they can get all their Death Company Intercessors right on top of you in turn 1.
Oh,
yay! Man. Neat. That's cool. Hey, these all have Angels of Death. That's weird.
Yeah.
And then you got some awesome pictures of the new Mephiston.
Screw Sanguinary Priests, I guess.
I wonder if there's a Sanguinary Priest in the... There's not a Sanguinary Priest in the pictures. He doesn't count. Alright, so when you come over to the abilities and you start looking at them here, you've got... so anybody in the Blood Angels attachment gained the Red Thirst ability. And the Red Thirst ability is when you charge or heroic move or anything else like that, add 1 to the wound roll. And then if you advance or make a charge, you add 1 to the advance or charge roll. So Blood Angel's able to get in on top of you real fast, and they're dumb, and I hate it.
It makes sense. It
It really does.
It works for them, and it's again, it's
And
all
it's
about
fluffy.
getting your guys into combat as soon as possible.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's no, minus extra 1 to other stuff, but whatever. Blood Angels, Warlord traits, same thing as normal here. You've got relics of ball, stratagems, psychic powers, litanies, which also includes the Blood Angel special litany, which wasn't in PA 2.
Nope.
So there's that. And then if you care, tactical objectives. So let's go over the Warlord traits here. So this is for the Vanguard Warlord trait. So if you take one of the Phobos units, these aren't any different than they are in the regular Codex Space Marines, with the exception of the word Blood Angels Phobos instead of regular Phobos. And then you've got stratagems. Super, super good stratagems. Duty Eternal. That's for a Blood Angels. That's Blood Angels Dreadnought is chosen the target of attack. Resolving attack made against that model, half the damage. So, so that Librarian Dreadnought can tank shots while he's up there giving buffs to his dudes. Veteran Intercessors, standard, same thing as in the other one, except now that you can make your Blood Angel Intercessors veterans. Awesome. Masterful Marksmanship for a Sternguard veteran squad. Anytime you fire Overwatch you're choosing to shoot with until the end of the phase. Anything with a special issue bolt gun, add 1 to the wound roll. So
lots of ways to pulling up the wound roll.
Lots of ways to murder the bejesus out of stuff.
Yeah.
Fury of the First for Blood Angel Terminators until the end of that phase when resolving an attack. Add 1 to the hit roll. So, also another way to get in close combat. Just doing what you can. Hunter Slayer Missile is shoot a missile from a repulsor.
Hooray!
Add an enemy vehicle or monster. Okay, neat. Rapid Fire. You get you can change your Rapid Fire bolt guns to Rapid Fire 2, so your Blood Angel Death Company Intercessors can go ahead and murder stuff. And you'll notice it does say Blood Angels Intercessor Squad or Death Company Intercessor Squad.
Yes.
So that's just, it's good. It was good before for regular Space Marines. It's just as good for Blood Angels. So I like it.
We'll be in rapid fire range much
Yeah,
sooner.
who's going to be there right on top of people.
Yeah.
Big guns never tire. You get to shoot, or you don't suffer the penalty for moving and firing heavy weapons, just like the way it was. Visage of the Damned is new. You select 1 Blood Angels unit from your army that has the Death Mask ability. To the end of the phase, when resolving an attack against that unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. So you're just terrifying. Death Mask, I believe, is the Chaplain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hero of the Chapter, give yourself an extra Warlord trait after dominating your Warlord, just like in that. Transhuman Physiology, I think actually makes a little bit more sense for Blood Angels than regular Space Marines, because, they just kind of shrug off pain in the fit of anger. So it's the same thing. For 2 CP, you 4+ to wound me, basically, against, anything that's not a vehicle or whatnot. So you can take it on your Terminators, you can take it on your Death Company, hooray! Vengeance of the Machine Spirit, same thing, 2 CP, Repulsor, or Storm Raven Gunship or Land Raider get back up and can shoot once or fight once, whichever you choose, once it's been destroyed. It's good. Or you can force it to automatically explode, even cooler. Refusal to Die. Use this stratagem in any phase after a Death Company unit from your army is chosen as the target until the end of that phase. When a model would lose a wound, roll a d6 on a 5+, that's not lost. You can only use it once per turn.
But for 1 CP, to
Yeah.
give an entire squad of Death Company really sick, feel no pain is really good.
Yeah, no, Death Company, I feel like kind of benefited a lot here, just a little bit. Steady Advance, Blood Angels Infantry, until the end of the phase, you can, for the purposes of the Bolter Discipline, you count as if you had not moved. So you can rapid fire, pop your rapid fire strat for 3 CP?
Mm-hmm.
For 3 CP, and automatically rapid fire like you hadn't moved. Just unload.
Oh man, so if you steady advance,
Yes.
rapid fire,
Yes. 4 shots per dude.
masterful marksmanship, then a full intercessor squad.
Well, that Masterful Marksmanship only Sternguard veterans.
Oh, Sturgar veterans. Oh,
Thank God.
Thank God. Because I'm looking at that comment, I'm like, ah. But still, 40 guys rapid firing for 3 CP. Or 40 shots rapid firing for 3 CP. is great.
Oh yeah, it's really good. Honored by Ball is take another relic. It's the same thing it is. Hammer of Wrath, use a stratagem when Blood Angel's jump pack finishes its charge. Any enemy model within or an enemy unit within 1 inch of that model, roll a d6. On a 5+, the enemy who suffers 1 mortal wound. So if you have a 10-man squad of jump pack dudes that slam into something, you roll 10 dice, and
throw out some mortals.
On a 5 or a 6, they suffer a mortal wound. I mean, that's solid for one.
For one, it's going to do like, what, 3 wounds?
I mean, you're going to have so much CP, John, because you're taking nothing but intercessors, all right?
Oh my gosh.
Just troops. And then Death on Wind. In the fight phase, select 1 Sanguinary Guard unit from your army until the end of the phase. When resolving an attack made by a model in that unit, treat a damage result of 1 as 2.
Very good.
Yeah. Double the damage for 1 CP.
They can chip away at stuff much easier now.
Yeah. I feel like Blood Angels are going to be catapulted back up. I think you'll see, in the competitive scene at least, a very large increase in their win percentage.
I think if they do... well, we're going here, but Death Company definitely...
by the way, Death Company, or Blood Angels gets a full complement of new stratagems. Just remember that number, that there are 3 pages of stratagems when we get to later in the book. So target sighted, again, keywords Death Company intercessors and Blood Angels intercessors. You can snipe characters. If you have with the Stalker bolt rifles, you can now snipe characters. So, neat.
So hear me out.
Yeah, I'm listening.
If we are to go back here,
okay,
and we're going to steady advance,
yes,
so we can rapid fire for...
except the Stalker is a heavy weapon.
1 CP. But is this just Stalkers?
Yeah.
Or is it...
It's Stalkers.
Oh, thank God. Man, I'm seeing all these combos incorrectly, and I'm like, thankful that I'm messing this up here.
If you go back to the weapons profile page at the beginning there, for the updated weapons profile, their weapons got updated for their bolt guns, so they now match up and stuff. So, Mastercrafted auto bolt rifles now assault 3,
heavy 1,
and heavy 1, strength 4. So the Stalker bolt is also updated right there. So it's still -2, 2 damage.
Man, if only there was a... Isn't there a strat where you can move or fire heavy weapons as if you had not moved?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And isn't there auras to get plus to hit?
Yep, there is. Whoa, I would jump too far. All right, so back here we got Unbridled Armor, which is select Blood Angels unit from your army, and they can be heroically intervene as if they were a character. So, and it's 6 inches instead of 3. So, great, good. So when that Sanguinor, who you're not taking because he breaks disciplines, needs to get saved by somebody, you can get those Death Company intercessors you do have into combat.
Well, I think it's good because it forces choices, right? So, like some unit you might not charge, you might have to because for 1 CP they can get into combat with you and you can't punch back against them.
Yeah.
And as we see with intercessor Death Company peeps, if they have a Thunder Hammer or the other weapons there, then they can mess you up really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's...
And also 6 inches of free movement.
Exactly. I mean, nobody ever complains about 6 inches, John. 3 sometimes.
3 always.
Oh, yeah. All right, so some adaptive strategy. Let's see if there's any Blood Angel characters, models on the battlefield before you change which combat doctrine is active. If the assault doctrine is active, you can change it so the tactical is now active, so you can go backwards, basically the same thing. If tactical, you can go to Devastator if you want to go backwards.
Okay.
You still can't go forwards, but you can go backwards. And you do have to change your doctrine at the beginning of the battle round, he said to John and Rob. Bolt Storm is intercessors get to for auto bolt rifles.
I play Chaos. I don't get fun stuff.
You still have to do
my doctrines.
Your doctrines, John. You have to do your doctrines at the start of the battle round. Same thing for your litanies.
That's right.
Or your dark prayers.
Yes.
Bolt Storm. You basically get to resolve an attack against the targets that's half range. Do not make a hit roll. You just automatically hit. Basically, your auto bolt storm gauntlet or auto bolt storm rifle just becomes a flamer, like a 12-inch flamer.
Huh. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I mean, I have access to it as a regular Space Marine.
It's
not new. It's just
no.
It's just neat.
That is neat
for Space Marines. Less so for people that don't play Space Marines.
No,
like if they play Chaos.
I don't like that.
It doesn't work out as well. Explosive Judgment.
Yeah.
Select the
Love
Sanguinary
that
Guard
movie.
in your shooting phase. Until the end of the phase, when resolving an attack made with the Angelus bolt gun by a model in that unit, you can re-roll the wound, and the target does not receive the benefit of cover to its saving throw. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's
negate
situationally
cover.
good. There's so many stratagems in here that are very CP intensive.
right.
I think if you have one to throw away, you might not throw it away in Explosive Judgment, I guess, depending on how many Sanguinary Guards you're throwing in there.
I mean, it's usually, what, 10?
Yeah.
Something like that?
No.
Gene Rot Might is to make a Blood Angels Primaris infantry unit from your army until the end of the phase. Unmodified hit roll of 6 automatically scores a hit and successfully wounds.
And that seems familiar to the
Yeah.
regular Space Marine
It's
book.
just like the Space Marines, but you know, it is what it is. And then Chalice Overflowing, use the stratagem movement phase. Select one Sanguinary Priest from your army that can use its Narthicanium ability one additional time. So double up on that healing, I guess.
Yeah,
That's really what it boils
worth
down
it to lose Doctrine's rules as written right now.
That's, yeah. I'm gonna have to go back through and look at the video later to see if there's.
I guarantee it's a misprint, and it will be corrected
I'm
quickly.
really hoping it is. Obscuration is the same as it is in the Space Marines book. If you want to know more about that and how Danny and I feel about that, go back and watch that video.
Yeah, more views.
Litanies of Battle. So Litanies of Battle are exactly the same as they are for everybody else. The difference is that Blood Angels get their own here for the Invocation of Destruction. If it's inspiring, select one friendly Blood Angels unit within 6. When resolving an attack made with a melee weapon by a model in that unit, an unmodified wound roll of 6, that weapon has an armor pen value of -4. So, you know, those intercessors who are just punching people to death,
So,
hitting on 6s.
Death Company intercessors with this.
Yes.
If they're throwing out, if you have, say, a full unit of 10, you have your one Thunderhammer in there because sure you do.
He's already getting -3, so
Yeah,
you're really
you don't
concerned
care
about
about
him
that,
rolling
but
6s.
you have like the 30 odd extra attacks from your Blood Angels.
Right.
Where usually 4 of those will be a -4 for their fists.
Yes, for them punching extremely hard.
They're praying so hard that they're punching through things with
A
rage.
couple of the guys just got really angry and hulked out. It just destroyed somebody's day. That one guardsman is going to take it right in the face. So the relics. So you have Decimator. Decimator, it replaces a master-crafted auto bolt rifle. So that's the one that has the massive assault that can turn into a flamer.
Sure.
24 inches, strength 5, -2 damage. When resolving an attack, you don't suffer the penalty for advancing and firing it. So you can sprint your dude up there and with Decimator and
Well,
pop
that's
that
okay.
and flamer it up.
I mean, does it have a higher strength than a regular bolt rifle, or is it a regular bolt
Strength
rifle?
5 instead of 4.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean, the extra strength, it looks like an extra bit of damage on there.
Well, the regular master-crafted auto bolt rifle has 0 AP
Okay,
and
so
1
that's,
damage.
It's a pretty good relic.
It's
Situation.
your odds are you're not taking it.
No.
But if you have extra CP to throw at relics, there you go.
I mean, the problem is it's a gun relic in an army that just wants to be in close combat.
Right, that's the real problem. Wrath of Baal, Sanguinary Ancient only. At the start of your movement phase, add 2 to the move characteristic of models and friendly jump pack units. If their unit is within 6 inches of this, the bonus lasts until the end of the turn. So, yeah, just give your jump pack dudes 2 extra movement, because that's what they need to get up close on you. Biomantic Sarcophagus was purviewed.
Yeah.
Purviewed.
Let's say that. Let's say that's how you say it in America.
America. So the Librarian Dreadnought model only adds 6 inches to the range of psychic powers. So now your Blood Angels Dreadnought doesn't have to get up there.
24-inch smite is really nice as well.
Yeah, it is. Figure of Death is a Crozius replacement. It's melee, +1 strength, -2 AP, 2 damage. When resolving an attack with this weapon, on a successful wound roll, the target is terrified until the end of the turn in addition to any normal damage. While the unit is terrified, subtract 2 from leadership. Alright, I guess that's a thing, you know.
So, I mean, that could really
I think this came out of
screw up a unit.
I feel like they swapped the Night Lord's special relic on accident, because that seems like something that Night Lords would do.
Well, I mean, Night Lords already have so many ways of stacking leadership debuffs, right? But this one is sort of nice. If you have a unit you have to kill,
Yeah.
like I know if you go into a unit of, say, Chaos Cultists, just off the top of my head, who has a leadership of 6, and you kill 20 of the 30 of them, because of course you do.
Right.
They now are taking a leadership test, They're trying to get past on a 4, and they've already lost 20. So really, you're rolling to wipe the squad. So it's really good for wiping chaff or forcing your opponent to spend CP.
Yeah, that's true. Gleaming Pinions, jump pack model. This model can charge in turn in which it fell back. In addition, when the charge roll is made for this model, add 1 to the result. So, yeah.
It's probably the best on the page, just because of the Death Company additional attacks that they're getting for charging.
Yeah, but the regular Death Company, because they have, so this is only for a character, obviously.
Right.
So your Chaplain with a jump pack is
Yeah.
able to be like, I jump in, terrify, and then jump back out. I mean, it's kind of, it's Blood Angel-y, but
yeah, nothing really, like, I think Figure of Death is super good.
Yeah,
but again, it's a good screen, like, it forces choices, but Wrath of Baal also.
Wrath of Baal is also really good. So we got that, and then we have some other stuff. If I can manage to turn the page.
I believe in you.
Alright. And the Special Issue Wargear, which is the stuff that you can give to sergeants, basically. And you can give it to anybody, but it's sergeants are the one that get it. Adamantine Mantle, Artificer Armor, Quake Bolts. Quake Bolts are fun. That's the best way to describe it. So, alright. So with a Quake Bolt, when you shoot a model with a Quake Bolt, you only make 1 attack. If a hit is scored, the target is felled and until the end of the turn, and the attack sequence continues. When resolving an attack made with a melee weapon against a felled unit, add 1 to the hit roll.
Oh.
Hey, so you know what it doesn't say here?
That this should be marker lights.
So what it doesn't say here on the Quake Bolts is Titanic, Repulsor.
Nope.
Doesn't say anything like that.
Literally anything.
So, in my head, you got a Blood Angel Sergeant, takes bead with his gun, shoots at a Warlord Titan, or not a Warlord Titan, but a Dominus Knight walking around, and then the Dominus Knight just is like, thump, sits down right on its ass. Just like, whoa, what was that? Just for a second. And then you hit him with your Smash Captain.
Right in the dick.
You hit him with the Smash Captain with the Thunder Hammer, and you're getting, you're hitting on 2s.
Giant unit of Death Company who are doing mortals at 6s.
Just punching him to death.
Oh.
I mean, I don't think this is gonna get play, but I like it from a narrative perspective. Like, it just...
Well, see, it has uses.
He's down, pounce on him. It's like,
So, I mean, it has its uses, especially if you have someone in the back, or, again, just tagging that unit before you charge in, because it doesn't say that it's just in the shooting phase that it's you get your +1 to hit. Having that +1 to hit...
it's till the end of the turn.
Right, so having that +1 to hit in the assault phase... frees up your guys to buff other units.
Yeah.
So I think that has a lot of play in it.
I just want to think of it like a netting. Like, the guy's running, he's flying around him with his jump pack, and he shoots him in the leg, and he swirls around it and knocks his legs up and knocks him down.
Oh man, it's a little paintball, and he just spends the rest of the turn kind of like scrubbing frantically. To
My pretty
armor!
Then Mastercrafted Weapon, you can just make a weapon Mastercrafted, which adds 1. Digital Weapons isn't any different. You can make an extra additional attack when using close combat weapon profile for this weapon, blah, blah, blah. And then Flesh Render Grenades sound like they should be amazing, just by the name.
Real question, don't all grenades render flesh?
I mean, apparently not.
Apparently, okay.
Yeah, no.
Who knew?
Model with frag grenades only. So it replaces a frag grenade. It's a 6-inch range grenade 3, first off, so you can throw 3 of them. Strength 5, -3 AP, 2 damage.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Dude, it's freaking nuts. And then also they don't get cover when you throw this at them, so...
Man, just go throw grenades at the Thunderfire Cannon. Call it good.
Yeah. Icon of the Angel. When a charge roll is made for a friendly Blood Angels unit or successor chapter, if you're within 3 inches of this model, you can re-roll any of the dice.
So ding, ding, ding. There's
I don't think that's very good. Let's just ignore it. In fact, no Blood Angels people ever take this relic, please.
Yeah, only just take Flesh Render Grenades. No, Icon of the Angel, super
God, don't
good.
take Flesh Render Grenades. I have a bad feeling that I'm going to see that. It's going to be like, I told you Flesh Render Grenades were good.
So Icon of the Angel, super good.
It's really good, and it's under the Special Issue Wargear.
And it helps save CP. I think it's under the
really
Special
does.
Issue Wargear for successor chapters and stuff as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah, these are for the Flesh Terrors, which are also in this book.
Yes. So some really solid choices there. Like Quake Bolts, if used properly, really good.
Yeah. And then you've got this pretty art of what looks to be some sort of dogfight between two really stupid Blood Angels units about to
just
die.
go back to these quick bolts. It doesn't say one use.
No,
so
it's
you
every
can
round.
do it every round.
Yep.
It's just any bolt weapon.
Yep.
So I think there's a lot of use because you can, again, this is honestly what almost what marker light should be in some way or form.
Well, maybe Tau will get.
Marine's doing it better as it should be.
Well, they're supposed to be the best in the universe, John. That's why. But you made me miss my page turn.
You're welcome.
Why are these pages so sticky, John? This book's only been here for like 2 days.
I don't even play Marines. Baby Blood Angels.
I like Baby Blood Angels.
Flesh Terrors.
I think they're fun. Flesh Terrors, they have the ability of Flesh Terrors that Fury Within. So when resolving an attack made by a melee weapon, then that's their chapter tactic.
Yep.
So made by a melee weapon by a model with this ability which a turn in which the model made a charge, add 1 to the wound roll. You know, pretty much the same thing. Also on a 6, improve that weapon's armor pen characteristic by 1. Because you're just hitting them that much harder. Yeah. Unmodified wound roll of 6, extra 1 AP. Dumb.
Cool.
Alright, Warlord traits. Merciless Butcher.
And this is what Gabriel Seth has.
Yes. When the Warlord is chosen to fight in the fight phase, they can make 1 additional attack with 1 of the melee weapons for every 5 enemy models within 3 inches of it.
So I'm not a fan of these. They did a similar thing with Jane's R to give kind of additional attacks that way there. It caps out really quickly.
At 3.
At 3, and if you charge into, so if you're charged by an enemy warlord or like a unit of 3 or 4 models, then you get nothing.
Well, you know, Gabriel Seth has X number of attacks, and he can get 3 extra more. He's got 1 more on the charge for being...
Sure. I'm just saying, I think there's better traits.
You know what? I think it fits with Gabriel Seth, because that just seems like the kind of thing that he would do, is just run in and just start screaming
and
stabbing.
I can't scream. My throat still hurts.
Oh, so does mine. And then Wrath and Rage. When resolving an attack with a melee weapon by this warlord on an unmodified hit roll of 6, you make 1 additional attack against the same using the same weapon. So already Merciless Butcher is better in my opinion.
Sure.
Because you just get them. And then Cretan Born. Overwatch attacks cannot be made against this warlord. Which,
there you go.
Let's go ahead and call it. That's the one you're taking. I mean, there it is. Blood Angels get to deny. You know,
Flesh Terrors.
You just have to say they're Flesh Terrors. You know,
just for that one turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, this helps out so much. And again, it's
negating Overwatch is disgusing.
It's a theme we're seeing, and kind of similar things where these armies are getting access to Overwatch denying things. So Night Lords. To Eldar, to Flesh Terrors.
Everybody has something at this point.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be great, as you'll see later, but everybody has something at this point.
But you got it.
That has a book. So
spoilers.
It's just the ability to deny Overwatch. On top of that, Flesh Terrors can also take the deny Overwatch abilities, you know, of other stuff.
Yes.
So they don't even need that. There's
shut it down.
Powers. You can shut down Overwatch all over the place, just shutting it off like it was closing time. And then, of course,
stratagems.
And then they get 2 stratagems all for themselves. And that is Savage Destruction, which is until the end of the turn, select them when a model with in a unit as destroyed as a result of an attack made Flesh Terrors model from that army. That destroyed model counts as 2 models for the purpose of any morale test taken. So if you take that black relic, or the skull figurine, death figurine,
you're guaranteed to wipe a unit.
You're going to kill the unit off.
Or waste 2 command points of your opponent. Which, if they play Space Marines, they need those.
Probably, yeah. Aggressive Onslaught is select 1 Flesh Terrors infantry unit from your army until the end of phase. When models need to make a pile-in move, they can move 6 instead of 3. So again, 6 is always better than 3.
Yes.
They will always tell you
No
that.
one complains about 6.
Unless it's a diameter, and then maybe. You got Relics of Krisha. You alright there, John?
Oh, I'm good.
You're just mad about the 6?
Mad, yeah.
Just throwing fists
World
over
Eater
here.
strat.
It's so good. So good. Relics of this planet's name that was made up randomly by throwing letters at a wall.
Crustacean.
Yes, the Crustaceous
Yeah,
period.
this Crustaceous.
Sever of Threads. It's a chainsword model, which already kind of good.
Used by Facebook page admins.
Tone it down, boys. You're getting out of hand here. It's melee, type melee, blah blah blah. +1 strength, -1 damage, or -1 AP and 1 damage. So
this is already an improvement on the regular chain
by
sword.
+1 strength and yeah,
Minus
and
one
-1
AP.
AP. When the bear fights, make D3 additional attacks with this weapon. When resolving an attack made with this against an infantry unit, an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts a mortal wound on top of it.
Gross.
So, yeah, that's a thing. Sorrow's Genesis, Sanguinary Priest, Primaris Apothecary, or Sanguinary Novitiate?
No, if you combine...
I make fun of Danny every time for trying to read this stuff while he's looking at the book and I'm over his head.
So if we combine Severer of Threads
Yes.
with a Wrath and Rage,
Yes.
then you have this generating extra. So you get D3 extra attacks.
Right.
+1 for charging.
So you got a captain with 4 attacks, +1 for charging, and then you
plus D3 from this.
Yes.
Fishing for 6s,
Yep.
and as Death of the False Emperor can tell you, that gets
Yep.
very profitable very quickly.
Yeah.
You could have max out at 13 attacks.
Yep. That when you roll wound rolls can also do mortal wounds.
Yes. So I think that has some play.
Yep.
If you have Flash Terrors, of Wrath and Rage and Severer of Threads is okay combo.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, for Flesh Tearers, it's great.
Yep.
And then, like, Sorrow's Genesis is a model with a relic loses the ability to pick up bio stuff when somebody dies or heal them. Unit has the follow ability instead. At the end of your movement phase, you can provide medical contention to one friendly Flesh Terrorist infantry or Flesh Terrorist biker within 3 that contains any models. Select one of those to regain up to 3 lost wounds. Otherwise, if any models from that unit have been destroyed, roll 1d6. On a 2, you can return 1 model from that unit to the battlefield with 3 lost wounds regained, placing it within... Yeah, it's a flat 3.
Oh, like an Assault Centurion.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man, it's too bad there's not Death Company Assault Centurions.
This needs to go away now. This is where we're living.
Sever
Flash Terror Assault
Friendship with
Centurions.
Sever of Threads finished. Sorrow's Genesis, new best friend.
Regenning Assault Centurions with 3 wounds.
Yeah. Yep, and each unit can only be affected by it once, so, you know, whatever. Thank God.
Thank God, yeah.
And then the fancy name generator. John, pick 2...
5621.
5621. You've got Mataneo. Seraphan.
He was great in Twilight.
I don't think he was. Nobody was great in Twilight. And then you've got all the points values for it. So here you go.
Yeah, fun times.
For everybody in there, including all of the named characters that weren't even listed. Brother Corbulo.
Yep.
Who sounds like he should be a Nurgle guy.
Memphiston 145 is about right for his psychic buffs.
Yeah.
He's more expensive than other things like Pharos 110. He gives out other buffs. But Memphiston's pure psychic ability, probably pretty fair there.
Yeah, I like him a lot, actually. And I like the model, too.
Yeah.
Not enough to buy it randomly,
no,
I'll never use
but enough to have it bought for me.
Right, exactly. Enough to have it bought for us to paint. Maybe like a paint-off or something. Perfect.
That was subtle enough, right?
Yes, totally subtle enough. And then you've got all the fast attack and everything else. Ranged weapon, melee weapons. Just want to check something. Oh, sorry, Blood Angels. That says 40 now. So...
But that's okay, because there's a theme we'll go into in another video about 40-point Thunderhammers.
Yeah, so there it is. Character Storm Shield stayed 10. Yeah, nothing else really changed. Make sure you take a teleport homer on anything. And that's that. I actually want to go back and look, because I feel like we might have missed something in the other section about Blood Angels, because I could have sworn that they previewed Blood Angels could get an extra 1 attack somehow. But now I don't remember where.
Sorry, we can pause and pretend like we did remember.
Yeah, we're going to, and we'll get there.
Oh, good. Thank God you edit.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't see their special doctrine listed here. So that was... Yeah, that's not there. Hold on. And Angels of Death.
Yep.
Angels of Death, Angels of Death, Angels of Death.
Angels of Death.
Angels of Death.
Angels of Death.
Angels of Death on the Executioner.
Of course. Beep, beep.
Still not there. Also, I only see the Sanguinary Priest in here. I don't see the other models. Incursor, Invictor, Suppressor. Hid, page turn now. Eliminator, Impulsor.
Huh.
Ooh. So, Sanguinary Guard also did not get Angels of Death.
Or did
Unless
they?
there's
Did they get?
FAQ
I think there
on
was
it.
the FAQ says everyone gets it. So, yeah.
Yeah, but this is after the FAQ.
Oh, my brain hurts.
I don't know.
Maybe that's why they were not.
Anyway, so the Red Thirst is add 1 to the wound roll, and also
Savage Echoes, when they're in the Assault Doctrine, add 1 to their attacks.
There it is.
There it is.
So Savage Echoes is their special doctrine, which is when you're in the Assault Doctrine, you get +1 attack, which is how you get those Death Company Intercessors up to 5 attacks, with 1 with a Thunderhammer, 6 attacks for the dude with the Chainsword, and then just 5 attacks for everybody else.
Yes.
So
yeah, I need a stratagem that lets me change my opponent's doctrine.
that's in the Tyrannid section.
Oh, thank God.
Oh God, I just Tyrannid's players watching this just
No,
freaked out.
that is not in the Tyrannid section.
It's not in the Tyrannid section.
No, that does not exist.
All right, so there you have it. That's the Blood Angels. I think they came out pretty good. I mean, are they Iron Hands? No, but they're not supposed to be Iron Hands.
I mean, it continues the theme of each Space Marine having different specialties.
Yeah.
Where your Iron Hands are shooty, repairy, your Blood Angels are assaulty, your Ultramarines are all rounding, your Imperial Fists do well against vehicles and kind of are encouraged to take every armor. Your Raven Guard are stealthy. Again, it follows this trend.
Yeah.
Of
making them unique.
Making them unique armies.
Yeah, and so
like you said, you're not going to see 3 Repulsor Executioners from Blood Angels list because of the way this is built.
Well, I hope not. That would just be
just a really angry Repulsor coming in with like extra attacks.
Oh man, so if you're in the Assault Doctrine, it's coming in at full tier. You're getting that's 8 strength 8 attacks.
The brave little Repulsor.
Oh, thank God you can't pop some sort of wound roll from -4 AP for the Repulsor Executioner.
Are we now just making a ridiculous Repulsor?
I only ever just make a ridiculous
Repulsor.
Oh, dude, it was no, because it's infantry only. It's infantry only. But you can make it blow up. Just run it in there and blow it up.
That's what you got to do. Yeah, because it does specify Intercessor a lot here.
It does, and Death Company Intercessor, which is kind of nice. I kind of want to do some Death Company Intercessors.
Yeah.
You know, they just seem fun.
Just an entire army of them.
But yeah, it's Gene Rot Might that does that, and then there's the other one that gets the -4 on it. I don't know. I like it. I think Blood Angels players should be very happy.
There's some good play. I think there's going to be some salt that isn't.
There's salt.
That was easy.
There's salt about everything, though, and that's the problem. You know, really what it boils down to is, in a vacuum, if you try to compare everything against the current Space Marine Codex, everything fails.
Right.
You know, sure, nothing is as good. But if you look at it from, everything being split, like you do, like everything's supposed to be a little different. Nothing is supposed to play exactly the same. I think they've done a really good job making Blood Angels not regular Space Marines.
Absolutely.
And I think you'll see Blood Angel players coming to top tier. And I don't think you might see them no longer running like, a Pharaoh's Tech Marine Thunderfire, Leviathan Dreadnought single detachment just to have an Iron Stone and throw it out there.
Oh, they probably will.
Well, it's because they're unimaginative bastards, John.
That'll happen after 20 years, but yeah.
So, let's call this one done.
Yeah, let's go scree.
So, all right. Well, I've been Dave, and this has been John, and
Hello.
This has been the Blood Angels section. If you like this, you can follow us. Hit the like button, please, because the more likes you get, the more higher it rotates through, and the more metrics we get or whatever it is. That's what
And
people. Everyone
likes metrics.
Dude.
Apart from YouTube,
metrics.
who does not pay attention to metrics.
I love metrics. You can find us on Twitter. We have a Patreon. You can subscribe. It's $1. And we have a Discord where you can ask Danny, who is actually answering questions right now while we're here doing this.
Yes.
For other people. So, you can get all that good information. Other than that, I've been Dave, and
John,
you guys have a great day.
see you next time.